Hello, everybody. This is Jatan Jones, the Goddess Mentor, Life Coach, Spiritual Healer, Blitch, whatever you want to call me. Here I am. My hair is I look disheveled because this morning Amazon really tried me, but I won. So, here we are today. This morning I really had to put my anger into action, and if someone saw me this morning and they had known me like when I was a teenager in my early 20s, they wouldn't have known that person. And so today I just want to come to you. Hey, Latrice, hello. And I'm calling out to all of the crybabies, right? Crybabies, depressives, and people who deal with anxiety. I have been known for all three. All three have been a huge part of who I am, or at least my journey and my experience. I grew up, just to give you some context, I grew up being called a crybaby because I cried all the time over everything. Everything hurt. I didn't know what was going on or why things were bothering me as much as they were. I just knew that I didn't feel good. I just knew that I was upset. I was always waiting on the other shoe to drop. One, I was undiagnosed for depression and anxiety, and I have experienced it as early as 4 years old. And that's really just as early as I can remember. Now, I say all this to say I was an empath. I am an empath. And a lot of times when you're growing up, you have no idea what that means. You have no idea what that is. You just know that you are feeling energy. Oftentimes it is not yours, and you do not know what to do with it. And I grew up in a family where, one, my mom could deal with me perfectly because she is an empath, she is a prophet, she's dealt with all of it, so she was always very supportive. But of course, when you're growing up, your life is so much bigger than just like your mom, right? I had to deal with family members, I had to deal with school, I had to deal with teachers, I had to deal with, friends, and I was seen as a crybaby. And it got to the point where even some of my own family, they would try to make me cry for fun. Let's see if we can make her cry. Are you going to cry? Please tell me you're not going to cry. And it was just like ridiculous. Hey, nephew. And it was just ridiculous that I grew up that way. But kids don't know any better. But I dealt with teachers who were frustrated with me. And so if this has been your experience, I just want to remind you that you're not alone. And I want to help put this into context. Because while I am still a crier, I embrace that. I'm an empath. I'm sensitive. I am asensitive. I now realize that there are so many other emotions than sadness, than depression. Oftentimes, depression was my default. So it would go, well, what's wrong with you? I don't know. I'm just depressed. Well, are you? Are you depressed, or are you pissed off and you have impotent anger because people have told you that you don't have the right to be angry or pissed off or upset? Because I did grow up in under very strong like religious upbringing, anger is not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? And as an African American woman who grew up as an African-American child, oh, honey, you don't get pissed off. You don't even look like you're mad. It's like, how dare you, right? Fix your face. Don't stomp off. Don't slam that door. Are you mad? And where I do believe in, kids should always show respect, I had grown up and I was raised to not show anger. Anger was completely unacceptable. Anger will get your ass beat. So you don't know what to do with it. So what did I do? I cried. And when you are raised that way, it doesn't just affect you in your household. it affects how you go out into the world. So not only could I not show anger in my home, when I went to school, I didn't show anger because anger was unacceptable. So I'll be shaking, pissed off, and upset, and all I would do instead was cry because I had no idea what healthy anger looked like, no idea how to express myself and to express that part of myself, no idea how to just say, I don't feel like hanging out today, because trust me, when you grow up in church, you're hanging out every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No right to protect your space and to say, I don't feel like it today. It's like, what do you mean you don't feel like going to church today? You better put on them shoes and quit playing. You know, and it's like no right to protect your own space. Oh, yeah, you can. And, you know, and so this is how we are raised. And while I do believe that, you know, our parents do the best that they can, unfortunately, they are killing your right to your own choices, your right to protect your own space, your right to express your own anger, your right to express your own sexuality, your right to express your own divinity. Any form of self-expression has been suppressed because you don't have the right, because you're under 18 and you're in their roof, and so you have zero autonomy. And then when you are expected to leave the house, you're automatically expected to know what to do. But that doesn't happen, does it? You leave with that same programming up here. I don't have a right to be angry. I should feel guilty over expressing myself sexually. I don't have the right to tell people what's on my mind because I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't have the right to wear my hair whatever color I want. I don't want to be seen as fast. In whatever way that may be. So if you are an empath, I really, if you do not know how to protect your energy, it is time that you learn, okay? It is time that you learn how to protect what is most precious about yourself. It's your being, it's your life essence, okay? And also when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you are feeling the feelings of depression, when you are feeling the feelings of anxiety, when the world is just overwhelming you and you don't know why, I encourage you to sit and to sort through those feelings. For me, I no longer, my depressive episodes are few and far between now. I don't have them a lot anymore. I would actually be interested in seeing maybe like a therapist or something again and seeing where I fall on the scale, because I feel like I'm so far away from where I used to be, because the way that I go through things are a lot different. So am I depressed this time around? No. Now I'm able to access feelings like tired or feelings like pissed off, because now I don't shrink into myself and cry anymore. The person that pissed me off or that upset me is going to hear about it, because I'm no longer going to turn those feelings in on myself. I'm going to express myself because I have the right to, and you absolutely have the right to. So often, especially as empaths, we try to protect other people to the detriment of ourselves. They can be completely steamrolling us, but we don't want to say what we have to say because we don't want to hurt their feelings. We don't want to rock the boat. It's now that I'm kind of out of it, now I'm like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. We shouldn't live life that way. But we do, and we're raised to be that way, especially women. I had saw this, it was a show, it was this British show, and I don't know if you ever have seen it, but they were showing this clip about how girls are taught to be more empathetic, and they were like championing it. So championing the behavior that these little girls who were maybe like 6 and 7 were exhibiting. But I thought it was absolutely horrible. So first, it was a camera, a woman, she made lemonade, and she put salt in the lemonade. And first, a group of boys came out. They were like anywhere from like 5 to 7 or whatever. And they sat there and they're like, hey, what do you think about this lemonade? I made it just for you. This like sweet little lady. I made it just for you. And the boys drinking. And they're like, ew, this lemonade is disgusting. And she's like, what? you don't like the lemonade? And the little boys are like, no, this is really bad. Like, this is terrible lemonade. And, you know, the people behind the scenes are like, oh my God, those boys don't care anything about hurting her feelings, you know. And basically saying that this was a bad behavior. So then they sent little girls out. And the girls came out all cute in their dresses and sat down. And of course the lemonade has salt in it. So she gives it to him and she goes, what do you think? I made this lemonade just for you. You could see the cringing on these girls' faces. And they go, it's good. It's good. And she's like, yeah, drink some more. And they're like, okay. Oh, it's good. And then the girls are trying to like qualify it too. Like, well, the lemonade is really good, but maybe you should use less sugar. Like, they had no idea how to pinpoint what was going on with it. And behind the scenes, the people are like, oh my God, this is so amazing. These girls know empathy and they care about how this woman feels. Yeah, at the detriment to themselves, at the detriment to their blood pressure, at the detriment to their physical temple. Are you drinking people's nasty, salty ass lemonade because you don't want to hurt their feelings? And this is the way that we are raising our girls to be: prim, proper, polite, passive. And it's like these girls are clearly not having a good experience. They're being tortured by this lemonade and made to say that it's good. And this, and I'm about to just kind of take it there, is what led me to get raped for 1.5 years. And this is what led me to get practically kidnapped and sexually assaulted, because I was too afraid to say no when I felt myself being put in an uncomfortable situation. Everything about those situations sent up warning bells, sent up warning signs, said, get the hell up out of here. Don't do this. Don't go there. Don't say that. Don't get in that car. Finish this date right now. Call somebody. But you know why I didn't do it? I didn't want to make my attacker, the person who was hurting me, harming me, abusing me, uncomfortable. I didn't want to hurt his feelings at the expense of my own physical well-being. And that is the way that we are programming our daughters. When you program them to believe that they don't have a right to speak up, they don't have a right to their anger, they don't have a right to express themselves. It's almost, how dare you tell me what's really on your mind? And that's how we raise our girls. We raise them to be silent. We raise them to shrink. We raise them to practically contort and to fit themselves in these small boxes at the expense of their own well-being. And it is killing them. It is killing us. It is killing you. That's why you feel like you can't speak up when people are doing you wrong. When everything within your being is saying, this is hurting me. This is hurting my feelings. This is pissing me off. I'm just so upset. But what do? You call about 5 people to see, okay, am I wrong? Let me tell you what the situation is. And then you need your anger, your hurt, and your upset to be validated by about 3 or 4 people before you even feel like you have the right to be angry. Your intuition in your body is telling you that they're completely wrong and that they're hurting you and abusing you, and you're too afraid to let the other person have it and to lay that shit at their feet. Instead, you take it all in to yourself, harming yourself, raising your own blood pressure, giving yourself migraines, giving yourself ovarian cancer, giving yourself heart disease, because you're too afraid to speak up and say something. And I'm here to tell you today that it's not even your fault. We've been programmed this way. Yeah, Cynthia. You know, we've been programmed this way. This is the way we were raised. This is what the media is telling us. This is what our teachers have been telling us. This is what men have been telling us. They champion the docile, the meek, the quiet. And we're just supposed to exist and look pretty, but not in the way that we want to, in a way that's more socially acceptable to them. Always preparing and putting ourselves together for the gaze of someone else, for someone else's palate, and never for ourselves. We don't want to speak up and be that loudmouth bitch, because who wants to be seen as a loudmouth with an attitude? What if that's really just a part of your personality? What if that kind of righteous indignation and anger is supposed to help free somebody else who doesn't know how to speak up? What if that is the key to not only your own freedom, but to your child's freedom, to all of the kids that are connected to you, to their freedom, to all of the other women that you're supposed to meet? But you're too busy being meek and mild and hiding it and pretending to be this person. Sorry about that, you guys. Yes, scared to be labeled the angry black woman, because you don't have a right to your own anger. No, you're supposed to be out picking cotton, feeding babies, cleaning houses, washing dishes, getting raped, and out singing and feeling good about it. Because you don't want to make your oppressors and your attackers feel uncomfortable. Lord forbid that you have an attitude over actually being mistreated. Lord forbid that you actually speak up and have feelings and operate as a complete autonomous individual. No, no, no. That's not supposed to happen. Because it hurts other people's feelings. Who cares? I am learning. I'm still in the process of learning how to put myself first. How to stop worrying so much about how other people view me and worry about how I view myself. Because the truth is that I had a life coach. She asked me one day, she goes, "Do you like yourself?" I started crying, because the way that she said it, it wasn't like, it was really just like, "Oh, baby, but do you like yourself?" And as much as you want to be like, "Yes, I like myself. I love myself. Self-love." And no, I didn't. I didn't like myself. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust myself to keep my word to myself. I didn't trust myself to even protect myself. Of course I didn't like myself. Because my inability to protect myself put me in a position to be harmed. And I kept putting myself in harm's way. Now, I'm in no way absolving those who raped me, who abused me, who molested me, who mistreated me, who verbally abused me, who emotionally abused me. I'm not absolving them. All that shit they have to deal with. That is, look, my guides already got that on lock, so I don't have to worry. But what I am going to do is take personal responsibility for my temple and what I do with it, and who I allow to be and to remain in my space. And when you do that, you will find that your depression, your anxiety, your crybaby behavior becomes less and less. So I don't allow myself to go into depressive spirals anymore. Now, am I saying, who knows what I will get hit with? Who knows, okay? So I'm not speaking for the future. I'm speaking for what I have experienced. So far, my depression has really dwindled. And it's because I deal with things and people as they come. You get smart with me, I'm going to get smarter with you. You pop off at me. If I feel like it, I will give it back. Or if I don't feel like it, I'll just dismiss you and keep it moving. But I'm learning to honor the goddess within. to stop silencing her, to stop allowing people to get away with saying whatever they want to me without saying anything back, to stop allowing people to do whatever they want to me without checking their behavior. Because I was taught that I didn't have the right to. Especially people who are in positions of authority and in the church. I was raised to believe that anything with something swinging between their legs had some authority, which is why I had such a hard time setting boundaries with men. Because I saw the way that the women in the church allowed men to treat them, whether they be in the pulpit or whether they be laying in the bed next to them every night. You're kind of taught that you don't have power. Not kind of, you're taught that way. Okay? Now, I say the submissiveness for those who want it. I'm not one of them. I'm a grown woman. And in a relationship, we can love and respect and honor one another. We can even submit to each other, if that's the terminology that you want to use. But I am nobody's footstool, and I lay on no one's altar. I'm no one's sacrifice. If you're looking for that, you need to go find Jesus, because I am not it. And at some point in time, as women, we have to decide that we're no longer going to martyr ourselves to other people's feelings and to other people's actions. Get up. Stop letting them set you on fire. Speak up. I did not expect for this to become all of this. I thought this was going to be a real cutesy message. But here we are. So, as you can see, I'm very, very passionate about it. And I do just believe in honoring the goddess within. And when I say that, it's all about the higher self. And for me, I call my higher self my goddess because I'm female. And so that is how I identify. So the higher self within me chose to express this lifetime as a goddess. So here I am. And here you are. And whenever someone wants to disrespect that divinity, I tell people I can be rainbows and unicorns, or I can be fire and lightning. Your choice. Your choice. I am fully integrated at this point. So no. It's not being two-faced when I was smiling at her and I rolled my eyes at you. The truth is that I don't like you. You're ignorant. You're rude. You're mean. So I'm giving to you what you deserve. And I gave to the other person what they deserved. Don't let people try to pigeonhole you into one personality type. Goddess, you are a reflection of the divine, which means you are a reflection of God. You are everything. So don't feel guilty about expressing yourself. Don't feel guilty about change, about transformation, about evolving. Look at nature. It is in the midst of evolving all the time. Forever changing, forever upgrading. So when someone sees you today and then they see you next year, you could be a completely different person. But guess what? That's nature. And that's okay. And that's progress. My stepfather, he used to say, this is really ignorant, okay? My stepfather used to say, whenever he was trying to articulate a point, okay, I can't even explain the level of ridiculousness and dysfunction that he exhibits, but he would say, I think the same way that I did when I was 17. And this is like a 40-year-old man. And he says it in a way that is braggadocious. Like, what? You think differently? You changed? I've had this mindset since I was 17. Oh, honey, and it shows. That's why you're operating your life as a 17-year-old. And a lot of people do that. Are you running around with the same programming that you've had since you were 5? Are you running around emotionally as a 5-year-old? Have you ever taken the chance to just stop and to think and to change and to evolve and to grow? Have there been any new ideas and new thoughts running up here? Or are you still operating the same programming? If you are, it's a problem. I think differently today than I did last year. I'm sure in another year I'll be thinking of something else. Life is all about evolving and upgrading. You don't have to stay in this mindset. You can change. And whoever doesn't want to allow you to change, they can get gone. I didn't have to get rid of anybody on this journey. People eliminated themselves. People chose to exit my life. And that's okay, because not even in a mean way, I love them. And I still love them. But there comes a point where people become a hindrance to your growth. And so you can still love each other, but sometimes you have to separate. Okay? Diva Fire was talking about that this morning, and that had really hit home for me. It comes a point where you outgrow some people. And you know, if you're hanging out with certain people and you know that you don't feel good when you are with them anymore, you all have nothing in common anymore. When you start talking about your spirituality, your business, the direction in your life, they draw a blank, or they're trying to save you, and it's just completely uncomfortable, it's time for you all to part ways. Not because they're a bad person, it's just you all vibe different. And there's so many other people in the world to spend time with, to enjoy, to grow with. And you can still keep up, you can still keep in touch, but keep your time with them to a minimum, because it is hindering you. Okay? So, really quickly, I am going to just pull a card. These are my Chicoli Oracle cards. I am currently in love with them, even though to me they're a little sick, but I'm a little sick and racy or whatever. So, let's see. And if you all have any questions, any comments, please feel free to just pipe in. I love feedback. I'm a Leo. And I'm finally starting to recognize that I've been taught to be humble my whole life, but I am a Leo with a moon Aries. Nothing about me is supposed to be humble. So I've been fake humble my whole life, and it has been killing me. So fuck it. Here I am. Double fire sign. Passion and forward movement, right? Let's see. And okay, so here is what we are dealing with. We're dealing with strategy. Okay, I'll explain these. We're dealing with innocence. Okay. And then we're dealing with some empathic stuff. Okay, some I feel your pain. And this is definitely how do you find out? You mean how do you find out your moon sign? Go to astrocafe.com. If nothing else, when I get off of here, I'll make sure I drop the link for you. And it will give you your whole birth chart. So I am a Leo. A Leo sun sign. I'm an Aries moon. I am a Cancer Mercury. That's how I process information, which is also why I'm so sensitive all the time. I process and communicate like a Cancer. I can be a little bit cold-hearted and strategic in love, but I'm a Virgo. My Venus is in Virgo, so I need everything to line up and be right. It will just give you a lot of insight into yourself, okay? So, here we are. So and this message is for those of you who this message in this video has really resonated with. So if this has resonated with you, this oracle card reading is for you. And I know that it is simply because of the cards that popped up. So let's talk a little bit about them, okay? So here we are dealing with strategy, okay? Strategy and going for what you want. Really looking and not allowing things to stop you, okay? Hey, Becky! How are you? Strategy and going for what you want and not let anything stop you. So she's up here, right? And then you see this man, and he's got a whole bunch of shit to get through when he's going up there. So let me just tell you, this journey back to yourself, back to figuring out who you are, what you're supposed to be, what you're really feeling on the inside. It hurts, okay? I went through periods of crying, periods of upset, periods of extreme depression, because I was finally starting to see people for who they were and starting to see myself for who I really am. And I had to uncover that stuff and see it, take off the rose-colored glasses and see my life and the people that were in it for who they really were. I didn't villainize them. I just saw them for who they really were. And a lot of them are still in my life, and I can love them, and I can have a more honest relationship where I'm not martyring myself to them anymore, because I see them for who they are. And I see that a lot of the things that they do, a lot of the things that they say, all they are doing are operating out of their own programming. And it's up to us to decide how we are going to respond to that, okay? So, please know that this journey is not an easy one. I wish that I could say it's full of light and unicorns and rainbows, but some days you're going to feel like shit. Some days you're going to be really, really upset because people aren't who you think they are. And it's okay. And guess what? I'm going to say this too. That's your problem, not theirs. Just putting the things into perspective, my marriage, the way that I view my husband didn't get better until I saw him for who he was and not who I wanted him to be. Not the pedestal that I put him on, that he had never even asked for me to place. So I put all of these expectations on this man that he never even asked for. He's just trying to be himself and live his life and love me. And me, I'm like, yeah, but I don't think you're this, and this, and you're supposed to do that, and that. He ain't promised none of that. He's never shown any indication that he was ever going to do that. I decided that I was going to place all of those characteristics on him. That's what I call creating a fairy tale and trying to make someone fit into your idea of who they're supposed to be. Just placing people in preset spaces in your life. And that's the quickest way to be disappointed versus allowing people to be who they are and learning how to love them that way. Or deciding you don't want to deal with them. Either way, the choice is yours, okay? So, strategy. Know that change is coming, but it's not going to be easy, and it is time for you to get strategic about what you're going to do. Get a self-care plan. Are you going to watch TV? You going to eat ice cream? You going to watch a show? Are you going to meditate? Are you going to go to the beach? How are you going to unwind when all of those feelings come up? Because they are going to come up, okay? Number 2, innocence. You are being called back to a place of innocence. Back. So we're going to go backwards. Because guess what? When I stopped villainizing people, I was able to see them for who they are, and I was able to love them better and stop being so upset about what they can and can't do for me, what I thought they should and shouldn't be. Go back to expecting the best, but at the same time, when you see things for what they are, move on. The best way to look at this is look at the way kids who have not been programmed terribly react to people. They know who they like. They know who they don't like. They don't question it. They ask for what they want. They expect the best. And because of that, they're able to manifest better. The best thing that you could ever do is not take the fairy tale away from your kids. If anything, get them to help you manifest some stuff. Call them in. When you want to manifest some stuff, if you have some small kids, look, to use, if you have some small kids that you can talk to and go, this is what I want to do. My daughter is the queen of manifesting, but she still believes in magic and all of that stuff. And so because her belief is so airtight, she can have anything. This little girl is manifesting a Disney World trip. It's insane. Because she keeps watching the videos and talking about it, I wasn't thinking about doing that, but I'm like, you know what? I got to do it. I have to take her next year. I have to. That's her manifesting her blessings. Magic is real, people. It may not look the way that we want it to look, but it's real. Okay? So you are returning back to that place of innocence, okay? Because that innocence for a long time was stripped from me because I had been molested, because I had been raped, because I had been emotionally abused. Because of all of that was stripped. But you are about to get restored in the area of your life. So that's also going to help alleviate some of that depression. Everything isn't going to seem so grim all the time because you're going to be put back into the driver's seat and back into a position of authority in your life, but you have to be willing to tap back into that inner goddess, okay? Now, next, this is all about you once again. Empathy. But for you all, this is all about empathy at the detriment to yourself. Literally ripping your own heart out and putting it on a platter and giving it to someone else. And saying, hey, love me now? Like me now? Can we get along now? No? Oh my God. Stop. For one of my clients, she was giving away everything. Her thoughts, her feelings, her time, her resources, her money. I told her, for 1 month, you can't give anybody a damn thing. When people call you on the phone and want to take up a full hour of your time venting, you don't have the time. When people want to borrow $20, you don't have the money. For a full month, the answer is no to everything. Sometimes you've got to shut down the shop. Shut it completely down. And people will learn how to fend for themselves. Trust me, if they can't use you, they'll find somebody else to use. You're not the end all to be all. Stop trying to be everybody's savior and thinking that you're their only hope. You're not. Trust me. They'll find another sucker. Okay? This world can be cruel. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. But you know more than anybody. It's also, when we come in, our expectations, and then it is how open we are to change, how open we are, and also knowing when to shut people out of certain parts of our lives. There's certain people I don't give access to certain parts of me because I don't trust them. And I look at how they treat themselves, how they treat the people that they supposedly love. Like, what makes you think I'm going to give you access to my time, my energy? No, ma'am, not until you check all of that. And it's not my job to do so unless you pay me as a life coach. Then I'll step in and help. But until then, not my problem. Well, they say not my circus, not my monkeys. Like, no, because I used to try to be Captain Save-'em to everybody. I'll sit on the phone with you for 3 hours, let you take up my whole morning crying, asking me for advice, giving you advice that you're never going to listen to. Then I get emotionally involved. And then when you find yourself in the same situations over and over and over again, now I'm upset and I'm pissed and my energy is off. No. I tell people, don't come to me unless you're ready. Because I am an empath. And constantly coming to me when you are not ready to make a real change is emotionally taxing. And it's a form of abuse for me. Because now I'm sitting around crying and upset over your shit that you have no real intentions on changing. Fuck all of that. Keep it to yourself until you're ready. I even have some clients who I've refunded them for life coaching. You're not trying to change. You're not trying to change. You might need to just go pay a therapist who can sit there and listen to you and charge your insurance, because I can't do it. I can't emotionally be invested in you and you have no intentions on changing. Actually, you're happy here. This is your normal. This is what you enjoy. This is the way that you get gratification. I can't be it anymore. Yeah, LaDonna, No. Yeah, you definitely got to stop listening. Then you're seen as mean. Then I start dropping people that good old PayPal link, and then they thought I was evil. But hey, it is what it is. You want some of my time? There has to be an exchange there. If it's not, then I can't. I don't have time for it. Unless Spirit specifically told me to deal with you for free, which I do that. But if Spirit don't come down and tell me what's up, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. The answer is no. Yeah, Rose, I definitely am. I grew up as an empath. I've been an empath my entire life. And so, I had to make sure I started protecting my space. And so my journey literally started with New Thought Christianity. Then I went into yoga. And then I went into being a full-blown witch chick. So here I am. But learning how to ground, how to protect your space, how to protect your energy. And it was especially difficult for me because I'm very analytical. I'm empathic, but I'm analytical. So I'm the queen of, I can't see it, so it don't exist, and that shit don't work. And it got to the point where it was just like, what do you have to lose? You're already miserable. You're already depressed. You're already crying. You're already sad. You're already broke. And all you're doing is breeding more of the same. So what do you have to lose by meditating? What do you have to lose by being positive for 30 days straight, even when things don't look right? What do you have to lose by using some crystals? What do you have to lose? Because it got to the point where I was at rock bottom. I had nothing to lose by giving it a try. And I was just like, okay, for 30 days, I'm going to meditate. For 30 days, I'm going to say affirmations. For 30 days, I'm going to reprogram my mind and see where it gets me. Because right now, I have nothing to lose. I'm miserable. I'm broke. I'm upset. I'm going to give it a try. And when I'm telling you the changes that happened there by leaps and bounds, just by growing, by changing, by manifesting, by seeing the way that people treated me differently when I operated differently, seeing how people responded to the boundaries that I set, which for the most part, people respected them, but I was too afraid to set them. I had already decided before I even opened my mouth, they're going to be pissed if I tell them that my time is worth X amount of money. They're going to be really upset if I tell them that I'm busy and I don't have 2 hours to dedicate to them. This person is going to be really pissed if I say that I can't meet her for lunch. And I had already kind of decided that they would be mad at me before the conversation even happened. And that's a sign of anxiety. And then tack that on with the fact that I deal with social anxiety. Like, people just stress me out. But couple with that. But when I started going, you know what? Do it scared. Exhibit some courage. Stop expecting to be fearless over everything, because that shit don't exist. Do the shit scared and see where it gets you, because guess what? You're already torturing yourself with the feelings anyway. You might as well go ahead and validate them and see if you were right. And what I noticed was that people respected me more. So then when people hit my inbox, it was like, I know you're busy, so can you send me a payment link? Or, I know that you can't meet me here, or that you don't have the time for this, but can you do that? And I'll give you this. People respected me and my time more, because guess what? I respected me and my time more. People treat you how you treat you. Period. So if you're disrespecting your time, guess what other people are going to do? Disrespect it. If you're disrespecting your body, and I don't say this in a don't be sleeping around type of way because I'm pro-ho, okay? But if you're disrespecting your temple in ways that go against what your inner wisdom is saying, that's what other people are going to do as well, okay? Because guess what? When I was disrespecting my temple, when I was putting myself in situations where I was sexually abused, they disrespected me because I didn't respect my time. I didn't respect my body. I didn't respect my own wishes. And so, yes, I'm very pro-ho. Make that money, honey. But, then, yeah, people disrespected it. But guess what? For those of you who don't know, you know, I was about the dominatrix life. When I put a price tag on what I was doing, you want to get whipped, you want to be degraded for X amount of times, you want to buy me things in the mall, guess what? I need your credit card, or I need you to make a payment here. Don't call me between that time and that time. Show up at this time. When I start setting stipulations on how I dealt with people, this is what I expect from you. Guess what? They respected it. They did. And I was flabbergasted I was floored. Like, oh my God, you're going to do what I tell you to do? What? Now, I know that's not everybody's journey, and everybody's not going to agree with that method. You know, that's fine. But I say all that to say, when you place stipulations and conditions on when you deal with people, they learn to get some respect. Because I tell people, get with it or get gone. The choice is yours. I've lost nothing. Nothing. So, this came out to be extra long. I'm so glad you all joined me. But if you're interested in fully reprogramming, okay, because I'm all about the reprogramming life. In 2 weeks, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after this one coming up, I am doing a reprogramming 201 class. It is 1 week with me where I'm going to teach you how to come in. Oh, Yolanda. No need to be nervous. I was talking about the dominatrix life. Don't be nervous. But I am teaching the Reprogramming 201 course. It is for 1 week with me, private Facebook group, custom meditations that are pre-recorded for you to do, a half an hour with me every day from Monday through Friday, then a Q&A, and full-on assignments. Oh, I'm so glad you were able to come here too, LaDonna. The fact of the matter is I am on my way, for those of you that don't know, to being a New Thought Reverend. I am in a doctoral program for metaphysical studies. Look, I have half of a master's in psychology. Does that count? But anyway, the bottom line is that the tools that I'm giving you, I didn't just pull them out my ass. I study, I work my ass off, and this stuff is to really help you change your life, and I will be giving you applicable tools that you can use to change your mind, to change your life. I'm not just giving you platitudes. Change your thoughts, change your life. It's like, what does that even mean? I'm going to tell you exactly how to do this. I am a certified neurolinguistic programming life coach as well. So I'm giving you real tools and tricks. I didn't just come up with this stuff. And it works. I am a living witness, and my friend is, not my friend, what the hell am I thinking about? But so I am going to do the class. The class is $147 for the week with me, but if you would like to pre-order into the class, it is $97. And that will be today. The Reprogramming 101 class is a prerequisite, okay? You have to take that class because I'm not going to be babying you during this 2-on-1 class. Everything that you need to know about the basics of reprogramming, why it works, and what you need to do to actually change your life is in that class. And that class is only $35. It is on my website. I will drop the link. If you would like to pre-order the class today, for the 1 week, it is $97 today. Once it goes up on my website, it is going to be $147. It is worth every single penny. I am telling you. I have paid thousands upon thousands upon thousands for this kind of information, and I'm giving it to you. So hopefully I will see you there. You really can change your life. You don't have to let anxiety and depression rule you. You don't have to live your life for other people. You can free yourself. And guess what? You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to try to go at it alone. You can have me as your mentor. I'm here, and trust me, I understand, and there's very little that you can ever say to me that will shock me because I have seen and heard and done quite a bit. So that's it. That's all, you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace and blessings. Bye.